Hello, everyone. Welcome. Give me 1 second to get set up. All right. Let's give 1 or 2 more minutes for folks to gather, and we'll get started shortly.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Sana. All right. So we're 3 minutes in the hour. Let's get started. So, greetings, everyone. Thank you for joining. This is SIG Network Architecture meeting of Nefio. We're April 22nd, Monday. For the agenda today, I have the following. Let's review the Nefio Day at One Summit agenda. The intent is to approve the agenda so we don't look at it anymore, and we can express to the TSC that we have come up with an agenda. Then go through some working group updates. And then I have a couple of MISC items that I want to go through to start planning a bit ahead for some of the other things that Nefio could be doing beyond R3. Any other points or agenda item that anyone would like to add here? All right, so let's get into the first order of business, the agenda for the Nefio Day. Looking at the participants, I think most of you've seen this, so it might be quick. Throughout last week, we worked with SIG 1, SIG 2, various people, right, to come up with an agenda. So here it is. We'll have 3 invited speakers. There are 3 different kind of organization. DZS and Visionware have a specific product portfolio that could complement Nefio. DZS on Tosca and orchestration, and Visionware on AI and Gen AI. And then we have an invited speaker for Silva, which is definitely a topic of interest for some of us. Then we'll jump into the Nefio Summit itself. So the SIG chair will introduce the Nefio Summit, the various sub-projects or sub-teams, I would say, will present a little bit, the work that they do. Then we'll review the architecture, we'll review some of the modeling concepts, and then, the one slider about how people can get started in Nefio. So that would be the first session. Then a session about the release roadmap. So we will share about the release process. We'll have to build a multi-release roadmap that doesn't exist. I mean, that's a stretch. I don't know if that's going to be built by then. But the goal is also to present the scope for R3 or the I would say tentative scope for R3, because of course it's not every. We know, we discussed it quite a bit. Not everything will be delivered. Then we'll have a deep dive. Yes, Sana.
A quick question. I have a lot of people traveling for the May 2 summit. They're asking me a question about what time is our slot. So basically, we have a tentative agenda, but we haven't associated the time slots with this yet. When can we do that?
Well, I'm expecting someone to own this and not me.
Okay.
If
Okay.
I have to own it, I'm happy to be told to own it. But so far, I took the ownership of the agenda already. And it's pretty much, so let me rephrase. I think it's almost a one-to-one mapping from the agenda here and the time here and what we have here, Sana. So like the first 5 could be the exact same first 5 here, right?
Okay.
So we could
We can
follow
fill
that.
it up. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was feeling. Let's agree on this, and then it can be filled. And then I wanted the TSC to maybe vet the agenda and then fill this up.
Okay, I
That
agree
was
with
my
you. I
intention.
agree. But I do get a tentative time in my head with by looking at some mapping. If the invited
Yeah.
speakers have to go first, then the invited speakers are actually going around 8:30 to 10 kind of time frame.
Yeah, right now invited speakers are the ones starting the day, pretty much.
Right, right, right. Okay. If that's the format, I have a tentative idea of the time, and then I think we'll take it
Okay.
back to the SE. And basically, I have
Right.
to talk to Linux Foundation folks as well, because they have sometimes some say in the agenda flow and format, and they sometimes tweak things around. So we have to do that kind of discussion, which haven't happened at all this time. So let's continue,
Yeah.
Alexei.
This
No,
is
you're
our day,
right,
right?
Sana.
But this is
I
ours,
don't know. I'm hopeful there is some elephant support, Bala, but I don't know. I I stepped into this just to help with the agenda. I didn't know exactly who was doing what and
Bala,
where, but
even if it is
the
our
way I
day,
understand is, yeah,
Mhm.
we'll be given the room and the logistics of the room will be taken care by the LFN. But whatever we do within that agenda is up to us. And especially after the speakers, after 10:30, Kandan has given us the freedom, we can design the day the way how we deem fit.
Okay.
all right.
So
But
then this
the
in
10:30
idea,
before,
this is different. It's different than how the previous 2 summits were, right? In that sense.
when you say previous 2 summits.
Yes, I think the idea is that now it's more driven topic first rather than SIG's order. I think that has been the discussion.
Yes.
Correct.
What I meant by different this time is basically I have been very closely organizing R2 Summit. So in R2 Summit, Linux Foundation had basically a say in everything. For example, if one of the panels were not diverse enough, not having maybe a women representation, me and Kandan were struggling hard to basically find that women in the represent. So basically, Linux Foundation was enforcing all their principles and their laws in every single presentation, the order of presentation, and how the panels have to be represented, who's in person, who's online, kind of that degree of detail. And we had lots of like agenda planning discussions with LFN. This time it seems to be like a day that's completely owned by the nephew community, and we don't have any strong recommendations by LFN. In that sense, Bala, I felt as if this is different than how we managed the organization in the R1 and R2 the last 2 times. R1 was also a co-located event. I don't know which version that was, probably R1, when it was with one summit in Seattle, and we probably had similar situation. An ongoing conference, a separate room for the nephew day, but even that nephew day was fully governed by Linux Foundation requirements. So something for me to double check with Kandan. I'll ping him and discover if that's really the case. And we're okay with the way things are.
The difference between that and this, Sana, is if you see the R2, it was co-located event and that happened as a part of the summit. But
Okay.
this time it is not part of the one summit, it is part of the DNTF.
And DNTF is more flexible, so this means that this whole order of things is going to be a lot more flexible than before, right?
That's what I assume. Yeah.
I'm also learning from this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes
That's
sense.
what I assume. Yeah.
But we did try to be inclusive of the elephant rules. So you'll see as part of the various topics, we have identified some speakers. I think most of them are confirmed. And so
Right.
we do abide by the elephant rules with
Yeah,
what we came up with.
nothing contradictory, Alexi. I was thinking we are like on a good path. We have a good agenda. I'm happy with everything. I just felt like this time they are not driving anything, but now I understand the difference of the DNTF format, which seems to be like a little bit more flexible this time.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's essentially, yeah, that's my understanding, Sana, as well. Just like
Okay.
what
It's
we
a good
discussed. Yeah.
perspective, Bala.
Yeah.
I believe
Yeah.
that's the case. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's good. At least that's a little bit figured. Thank you. So where were we? All right. So yeah. So the invited speakers, Sana, you can map them to these time slots, right?
Okay. Yeah, I can.
Then so we
Sorry,
start
one question, Alexa. Do we know who are we inviting for Silva?
Yeah, it's the gentleman from Telefonica, Telefon Italia.
Okay.
He presented
And this person
a
is in
couple of
person, right?
current.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay, excellent.
and that gentleman presented at least twice, as I'm aware of, in the Silva days about Nefio.
Okay.
So he's very familiar with the topic.
Okay.
Good.
Yes, Tim.
Yeah, just to
Tim?
follow
Yes.
up on that. Yeah, just to follow up on that. If you're interested in his presentation that he provided right during those Silva days, that it's available on the Silva site as part of the Silva days piece of it, which I would assume is going to be looking at what you just said here would be a similar type of presentation. So you can look at that content if you're interested.
Yeah, I would not like to waste this thunder. Like I would like to see this in person and listen to that for the first time. But that's a good one, Tim. If people have questions to see from his presentation, maybe they can take a peek into that ahead of time.
The approach that this guy is using Matthew is a little bit polemical because he's not using the full capabilities that we provide. So yeah, it's going to be kind of controversial.
I'm excited for this one. I have had some discussions with Orange. We did some brainstorming, and the outcome of the brainstorming was to do a POC. And exactly this is a POC right now. Maybe they did something together, but I'll be very excited to see this one.
Yeah, so do I, and I like controversial, Victor. So hopefully it sparks
It's more
good
interesting.
debates. Yeah,
Yeah.
it brings good discussion.
Right.
I hope if it's done in a good way, obviously.
Right.
Yeah, so
right.
Probably the only thing is like the format that we are going to use it is more like a discussion or like more presenting and listening.
For this topic here?
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't put it, so I don't. Sana, did you organize that one, or was it Kandan?
Okay, I do have a perspective of these invited speakers talk. So when I'm working with these invited speakers, I'm working with two of these. I ask them to put your quick demo, 5-6 minutes, your presentation slides for like another 7 minutes, and leave 6-7 minutes towards the end, maybe like 7 to 10 minutes at the end for open discussion. So I believe that there will be room in open discussion for every presentation. And I think we are also following the similar format the rest of the day. Some slides, someone presenting, moderating the session, but then there is some opportunity for questions through the community as well.
Okay. But do
Alexi, this is my perspective.
No, I like it. I'm with you there. I think it's good. It's a good kind of a setup for the demos, for the talks.
Okay.
That's good the way you suggest. I'm just wondering with who Federico with who that gentleman is working with to ensure he's going to be there.
I'm not. I'm working with DZS and Vision Waves, the two invited speaker slots. I am working with them, working with their slides and everything. This one came into the agenda from somewhere.
Yeah.
Who?
Timo here.
Okay.
discussed with Orange and Tim.
Okay, so Timo, you'll coordinate with them to ensure they'll show up.
Well, I got their promise that, or I got the promise from Federico that he will be there. I trust him.
Do you mind? Okay, well, if you're good with it, then I'm good with it. Thank you, Timo.
Yeah, I am. I can
Thank you,
check with
thank you.
still, of course, I can double check, but I'm pretty sure he was really interested to have the opportunity. So yeah.
Okay, well, if you do double check, please loop me in because I want to formally introduce myself to him as well.
Okay, will do.
And Sana, along with me, please. So that way
Right.
the chair
Right.
co-chair can introduce ourselves.
Sure.
Thank you,
Absolutely.
Timo. All right, so I think we're good with the invited speakers now. Welcome to Nefio Summit, then the release roadmap, then the platform evolution. That's where we were. Then we have a topic on onboarding, where Stephen will get us through a little bit the Helm SDK and what it means and where it's going, where it's at, and open up a little bit of discussion here. Then we have CI/CD CT. I don't think we confirmed that once. So Rado, Victor, Fiacra, I think we needed one of you to confirm that you could animate that discussion.
Yeah, Alexei, Victor has confirmed it. You can just take out the robot out of that. Probably he will talk about and possibly Fiacra too, possibly, but Victor has confirmed that Rado is not traveling. So integration, basically, Victor is going to present. He's generally going to talk about the existing test strategy, and then he's going to talk about there is a new integration cloud Kubernetes native integration test-based test tool called Cuttle, KUTTL, and he's going to talk about that, maybe make a proposal. So, and when it comes to GitHub Actions versus Pro, that is tentative. This whole CI/CD city, the talk is confirmed, but the contents, what is confirmed is integration test, that is confirmed. But in terms of GitHub versus Pro and all, I'm not sure whether we'll have we will be ready yet. But Fiacra and Victor will decide on that particular content. But a general confirmation is done.
Okay. I can't tag people actually, so I don't know how to do it. All right. Well, Victor, if you can please review this content.
Yeah,
But
sure.
thank you very much. Thank you
Yeah.
for stepping in and lead that session. That's great.
Yeah, thank you, Victor. Yes. Yeah.
The other topic that we are also thinking about it was testing in production-ready environments, right? Bala?
Yeah. Yeah, that's also we can add a line there. Yes, can we please add a line?
Okay, I will do that.
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
Awesome. Then a bird of a feather session. I think I'm going to rename these by lesson learned from bare metal deployment. I think that's what it is. We've been working with Sagar, OAI, Telus, and myself, Red Hat, on deploying this on bare metal and making it work. So we want to share a little bit the pain point. We want to share the lesson learns, and obviously come up with some suggestions. So that's what the session here is about. Then I have Rahul that is confirmed to give us a review of what's going on in terms of security in Nefio. That might not be the actual agenda, but Rahul told me he will animate the session. And then that's it. Then we're done, right? So that's gonna be our day. We have an additional topic that Istiliam and Fiacra were suggesting to maybe propose to the NTF, which is, let's roll up our sleeve kind of topic, where they would come up with maybe a list of issues that we could fix, or a mini hackathon, or a quick use case. But that would be more of a Friday topic and not a topic for our day. Yep, Sana.
I'm just trying to estimate the number of people for Nephew Day. Is there a way, Tim, maybe you could talk about that? Is there a way to find the numbers of how many people actually registered for the nephew day itself? Because we are doing with DNTF registrations, because I did that myself. The numbers that we'll get from Linux Foundation right now would be the DNTF numbers. But how many people are in the room? Can we estimate?
Is that a
I know
question
this
for
is
me,
a
Sana?
I don't know, it's a question to everyone. I don't know the answers. If nobody knows, I'll park it, go to Kanda and figure it out. But I have a feeling that we don't know, right? This number at the moment.
Yeah, I don't
Yes,
think we do.
yes, I
One
don't
of the
know.
presenters is asking me this question. So basically, I wanted to give him a feel of like how many people would be in the room.
It's estimated to be 40, around 40 plus.
Yeah,
But I
we
don't
know
know the
from the
number.
room logistics, right? Like which
Yeah.
kind of room is assigned to us.
Yeah, 40, 50 is what we are thinking, Sana. But to be honest with
Okay.
you, at least I don't know the answer.
Okay. At least how the room is looking like.
Yeah.
So if
Yeah.
that's the cap, maybe that's the maximum we can get then. Thanks, Vara.
All right. So are there any question on the agenda? Do people have topics they'd like to add or change? Have we missed something key? I'm opening up for the team here. Timo?
Yep. So there has been actually a couple of topics proposed already for Friday, which I think are not on that page. I believe it was Kieran who talked about the topic scaling.
I can open them up. Yeah, I know where they are.
Okay. Yes, exactly. Good. So it's the so basically the scaling. The last one, scaling the Kubernetes API to support large scale and so forth, and then we had this Victor's test infra project. I don't know how or if it relates to the CI/CD topic that we have already on Thursday or not. And then, of course, these two ports-related things where we also do have some ports-related discussion on Thursday. So I think people just need to somehow comment if their topics that they have been proposing for Friday are already covered on Thursday, or if there's still need to bring them up on Friday. And for Friday, the time is limited. So basically, we have from 8 to 11 a room for Nevio discussions on Friday.
So we have 3 hours Friday, and right now I see 4 hours, like 4 topic of 1 hour.
Yeah,
So
but
let's see.
I already
Actually, part of it is sorry to jump in, but based on this, actually, Timo and Alexi, we did some of the Thursday agenda based off of this. So Timo's point, some of it may have been we would have covered on Thursday itself, except for maybe the last one, the scaling, the Kiran's topic. With that said, we also wanted to have some room available on Friday for the folks who are staying back, because general assumption is most of the people may not be staying back for the Friday. So most of us would be only available for Thursday. But for the people who are staying back on Friday and still wants to have a room to discuss internally, we want to make sure we have some topics made available in this wiki page so that from the logistics perspective, room can be made available.
Yeah, that's exactly the kind of the motivation that we need to have we needed to have some topics so that it looks like the morning slot is covered and we have secured a room for our talk. and the topics that will be covered, I think it's really flexible for us to choose.
Yes, I think so. I think looking at the list, except for the last, I think the rest, most of it will be covering on Thursday. Unless for the porch one, you know, that discussion can still go on Friday, because I know it's going to be a long discussion.
Yeah.
So between those 3 hours, I think any I think porch discussions may happen depending on the people who are present, and then I know he's still gonna stay back for Friday, because that's what I understand from Misty. And then obviously the last topic, scaling the API server.
And Timo, regarding maybe we can reduce the time for the infra discussion, and maybe because we are going to have some time to discuss similar topics on other day. So maybe instead of having 60 minutes, maybe we can put like 30 minutes.
I want to. That's a good suggestion, Victor. But I want to understand: are we responsible for the Nifio session agenda on the Friday as well?
Yes. So as a community, we are.
Okay.
This is the way DNTF works. So every community is responsible for their own.
But which community, like the LFN or the Nifio community?
It's each community. It's Nifio. Nifio is one. ONAP is another. Anuket is another. So these are, we are all all projects are responsible for their own agendas.
All right. Yeah, I think.
Thank you. So I'll.
Yeah, but so Timo, the list that we have for the Friday there, can we just have a pointer to that one from this doc? Do you think that will suffice? Because most likely if you say 3 hours, I would say probably. Victor, are you going to be present on Friday?
Yeah, that's the idea, right, Timo? This topic is going to be presented on Friday, right?
Yes.
All right. Look, gents, I'm a little bit annoyed because honestly, we're a week away from the event, and I'm just learning now that we're responsible for that 3-hour block in the Friday morning. It's very difficult to organize something if we don't know about it. I think we have enough topics, so I'm not too worried about it. We will figure that out. But I'm gonna try to join TSC because something is wrong about the way we've been like organizing these events. It feels last minute and very minimal amount of accountability. So I'll talk with you, Victor, Isti, Liam, and Karen on the Friday. I think we probably have 3 topics. There are some overlaps from what we discussed on Thursday, sorry. So maybe we'll bring in the mini hackathon ideas on the Friday. I'll work it out with the folks that submitted something in here. All right. I'll have to come up with something. We can't do it just now. So
Alexei, I think I wanted to. My suggestion is let's keep it simple and let's just say these are the Friday session.
Yeah, I mean.
So yeah, I mean the porch and the scaling. Scaling we are not covering on Thursday for sure. So that is 60 minutes. And then we can just mention, I think the test infrastructure, yeah, I was gonna ask Victor, do you think, is there anything that we need to do on Friday? Or can we cover it on Thursday itself? So other thing is maybe the porch deep dive. I mean, I think there are 2 porch topics. I'm tempted to condense into one. Porch deep dive and scaling are the 2 topics for Friday. And that too, I'm expecting our overall attendance is going to be very, very minimal on Friday.
Yeah. So Alexei, I think let's not worry too much about Friday. Whatever is on the DNTF website, let it grow organically. I probably don't have a problem with the room. I think we will, with that content posted there, we'll have a room. We'll worry about it when we see that there is a problem in the room. And if there is a problem in the room, somebody in LFN should come tell us. let's just focus our energies only on the nephew day Thursday. And I think for now we have a pretty strong agenda. We just need to socialize that with Kandan and make sure that we reflect that with the time slots. I'll help you with that, and we should be good to go. Let's ignore Thursday for now, Friday for now.
Yeah, I totally agree with Sana, because officially we are only having nephew day on Thursday.
Right, and I'm myself not there on Friday, so I would love to see how many people are there, why they are staying there, and if they are there, let this grow organically as a community. The ones who are there should try to take on some of the leadership of that day, ensure that logistics are taken care of, and we have the room and we have the ideas to discuss there.
Yeah.
And Bala, regarding your question, probably yeah, I can cover all the test infra project topics in Thursday. So maybe we can remove that from the Friday's agenda.
But I mean, even yeah, I think kind of it, to me it looks like it's kind of echoing what Sana was saying. If we think that there would be need for bringing that up still, this test project, then we could keep it in the agenda and then play it by the ear, make the modifications as we go.
Right. Yeah. That's okay. Yeah, let's not worry about Friday for now, Alexi. Let's just focus on Thursday. And then to Timo's point, I think we have a room available because of the agenda that we put in there. So we are covered there. And then whoever is left on Friday, they are free to discuss whatever they want to discuss, which I expect the attendance will be very minimal compared to the Thursday.
Correct.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good. So any question about the Thursday agenda that we reviewed? All right. So
Alexi, I think we are good. One of the next steps that we should do, we should have a discussion pre-TSC meeting. We should firm the agenda. We should have the quick time slots attached to these. In the TSC meeting, we should announce that, not discuss that, not keep open floor for additional ideas or questions, because I think we are too close to the event now. So I'm going to ping Kandan, and between the group of organizers who have taken lead on the firming the agenda, should actually sit for 30 minutes and actually firm this pre-TSC meeting. And then on TSC, we'll announce it. That will reduce some of the anxiety and stress associated with this lack of planning and being very close to the event. So, and I'll feel very good. I'll also feel good with the invited presenters, so I could give them some confirmed updates on the time slots and the details of the event.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Sana. Appreciate
that. I'll try to get a couple of people from this group, and whoever needs to forward the invite to additional folks. I think that's the brainstorming event to firm the agenda pre-TSC. I'll ping Kandan right now.
Thank you, Sana.
Awesome.
Good. So I'm considering that matter settled from a SIG one standpoint. Let's go to the updates. So Tim, maybe we'll go with you first.
Yeah. So no real change. We're still working on the two primary things that we're working on. One is trying to get the cluster creation working, the use case and the design in place. We're getting close. We've finished the IMS side, and now we're talking, some of the FOCOM aspects of it and the use of the Nephew enablers. There's a meeting tomorrow that we've been going on that discusses this specifically. The other thing that we're doing is we're starting to look at release 4 use cases that we'd want to see. I think it's going to go around three themes. Certainly, we're going to want to try to incorporate some of the inventory, it looks like, into between the IMS and FOCOM. So this concept of inventory will probably be flushed out. We got some work that they're looking at of trying to use the Helm charts capabilities within Nepio. Another one is using the observation framework within Nepio. And then the O1, looking at the existing O1, which is NetConf Yang, and looking at that versus the configuration file process. So there'll be some work around both of those patterns and trying to figure out, which kind of makes sense. And that's
Seems
about it.
like a packed planning.
Yeah, and whatever drops out of out of release 3. That's why backlog exists, right? We just want to get the guys, continually
Yep.
trying to utilize what Nefio enablers are there to figure out how best to utilize them. That's what the goal is.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, no, I really look forward to these two. Exactly what you said, leveraging the Nefio enablers. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Tim. Anyone has a question for Tim regarding what's going on in the ORAN working group? Okay, let's go on to Karen about modeling. Do we have Karen on the call? No, we don't. So no updates.
Kieran
And,
gave an update on the on a Slack channel. He's not able to join today.
Oh, he gave an update on the Slack channel because he's not able
Yeah,
to join.
he did. Yeah.
Sorry, yeah, I missed it. No updates. There's a PR up. Okay, let me pull up the PR. So folks, please, I think he created something like this. APIs. So everyone, you are welcome to review the Nefio APIs. This is the PR. Okay, so that's topology and network. Package orchestration. Okay, so here he's embedding the various CRDs. I didn't even know we had a fleet membership CRD. I'm learning things myself, looking at our models and APIs. If we were in a room, I would have asked by show of hand who know about that fleet thing.
It's a sports thing, right? It's a sports thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because there's a number of others that are hidden we never used. Yeah, I don't think.
Oh yeah, because we inherited everything.
Yeah.
So maybe I have a question to this. Somebody was asking me about the Nefio APIs, and I did find a couple of links and I shared with them. What is the best place for somebody fresh, new, to basically come and learn about Nefio APIs? Is it this starting point?
Yeah, that's exactly the goal of that PR, that pull request, right? It's to provide that go-to place for newcomers to look at. It's not merged yet, Sana. So
okay.
But there is already today.
Right now,
so Alex says there's already today an API on the docs side. Irrespective of.
Wim, can you ping me? One of the invited speakers are doing. Okay.
Just
right
go
now.
to the docs. It's on the first page.
Okay.
But what Kieran is trying to do is structure. So this is just a flat. This is just a dump of all the APIs we have.
Yeah,
right?
I have this link. Okay. Yeah. I have it. Thank you. I
Kieran
shared that with them.
So Kieran is trying to document some structure and information around it. So that's not there yet, but the plain APIs are there.
Okay, I get it. Thank you. Thank you.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I like the diagram here. It helps understand. So call to action, everybody, please review the PR from Kieran. Okay, it would be awesome if that can be merged this week, so it's available next week officially on our website for people to consume, even if it's not perfect. What else did we say in the chat? All right. Thank you. And Steven, what about you on the SDK?
I don't have no update from last week. Sorry. But
okay.
It's still on schedule to have something by the ONE Summit.
Okay.
I mean, I have a demo. So yeah.
Let me look. So.
Hey, could I ask a quick question to Stephen on the SDK, just out of my curiosity? Stephen, are we going to have Helm integration for release 3?
That's the goal.
That's the goal.
Yeah, that's the goal.
That's what my assumption was.
So
I
that
just wanted-
fluctuates because the contributors, contributors' time changes. Yeah,
I get it.
The
I
current
get it, but
contributor list. Yeah,
it's
that's
all
the
a goal. It's all a goal
Yes.
until it's done. So
Yes.
okay.
So that's the
All right.
goal. We have
All right, man.
people name attached to certain things, and then
That's all.
at some point sometimes in May we have to do the integrations. So yeah.
Yep. That's the best you can do. Thanks, bud.
Yes.
Sweet. Thank you, Stephen.
Mhm.
So we're good here. Any question on, well, I guess, any other questions for Stephen? All right. Thank you, Stephen. Moving on to, well, hang on. Before I move on, just give me 1 second. Yeah. Okay. Moving on to Subash. Do we have Subash on the call?
Hi,
we
Alex.
do.
Yeah.
Hello, Subash.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yeah. So this week, actually, we were reviewing the user story service assurance framework for the ODU bandwidth assurance. So I rewrote the user story based on NF to infra. How I got the feedback, right? Based on that, if I try to rewrite the user story, that we open for the review, and based on the feedback, again we discussed in the workgroup 5 meeting. And at least from the workgroup 5, we concluded that there is no objection currently. But yeah, we added a few action items like we need to add glossary and some more clarification for a few of the items that was raised by team. So that will work. And yeah, according and also we need to get clarified with the Sagar ones. And after that, means we are ready to go take it to workgroup 3. And yeah, document is open for everyone to give the comment and feedback. So that's the current status.
Okay. When can we expect a review to the working group 3? I think it's been it has been quite up in the air for quite an amount of time, and I'm wondering if there is something we could review. I don't know, maybe this Friday. Maybe it's too early though.
Sure.
So then
Let's
it will
try.
be in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Let's try this Friday maybe. I'll share the update by maybe Thursday, and then we plan for the Friday. I open for the
usually
review,
we like.
and yeah.
Yeah, well, ping me when it's ready for review, and we'll see what we can do for the agenda on the Friday call.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. And so which one exactly is it? Is it the I just want to link the right one.
Yeah. This is SA framework for ODU bandwidth assurance. Yeah, second one.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Oh, second one.
Yeah. So there
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
That's the one.
Could you go back to the story, like a ticket?
Yes.
Yeah. The last one where the update 22nd. Yeah. This is the correct link.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay, got it.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. That's what I was looking for.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much, Subash. Okay, so I'll wait for we'll wait for your updates. I'm eager to review this in the working group 3. So let us know whenever you're done with within the working group 5.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Anyone has a question for Subash? Okay. Okay, architecture, scope, and planning. So we have the architecture now published on our docs. This is fluid. It's not, cast in stone. We already got some feedback on how to improve some of these things. Expect a PR for this box reconciliation engine. It's driving a little bit of a discussion on what and how it should be. But beside that, look, it's there. Please keep reviewing. PRs are welcome. we definitely intend to go through the first 3 views, maybe the first 2, and eventually the third one during the Nifio days, right? So if there is something that you feel is key to fix between now and then, ping me or fix it. You can just issue a PR against that code. It's in the Nifio doc repo. As it, for everything, PR are welcome to improve, but be aware there is an intention to start showing these to a wider audience at one summit. All right, and planning. While I was planning this agenda, I forget to fix the planning of the Nifio things. But I think it's a little bit overdue, but your SIG chair and co-chair want to start building a plan ahead of R3. I think we reviewed it many times, the plan for R3. So we're not going to review it anymore. I think we're done. We have our deliverables, but I think we'll be on track on these 6 deliverables, or most of them. But then we started the backlog a couple of weeks back with the feedback from Orange on lifecycle management. The provisioning of, for instance, the transport, or leveraging some of the contribution Nokia has been doing on the schema-driven configuration. So we need to start building a view, and look, I haven't done it yet. I wanted to do it by today, but I couldn't. But that's so it's planning for R3 plus roadmap. So it's building a little bit of a where Nifio is going to go kind of a roadmap. Of course, it's going to be the first draft that will be based on what I have in this backlog here. I will absolutely incorporate some of the things coming up the various working groups. So I'm thinking of the backlog that ORAN working group 2 is building as well. So more to come. Basically, it's a little bit of a teaser on the work that I have yet to do. Any question on architecture scope? All right. So I have 2 last topic here. One is so we're going to have a presentation of Silva during the Nifio day. We talked about it. I'd like to have something more formal for this group where we can have more of a deep dive. And I think it will be great to have it after the Nifio days. So do we have a prime on the call that can facilitate bringing someone from the Silva team in this call? Yes, Sana?
Alexi, I had this exact discussion with Orange. I was talking to Philip, and Philip said that the best person to get from Orange is the Orange representation in Nifio. So I thought about Eric. If we can go to him and see if he can facilitate this
Okay.
progress in the SIG architecture. Bala?
I'll take care of it.
Yeah, thanks, Sarah. So I was thinking somewhat in similar lines, but maybe Alexi, I was going to talk internally to the person that you already know. So Ran from Red Hat. So I was going to ask him most likely coordinate with somebody from Orange to present this as well. So probably we can do it multiple ways. I'll talk to him. Yeah. Maybe Hanan too. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's good. I'm
Yeah.
liking where you're going.
Yeah.
So that's great. Yeah, we can ask as well our folks that are involved on Silva.
And then they can do a joint presentation to Sana's point. Yeah.
Yeah, well, there is 2 views, right? There is the operator view coming from Orange.
Yeah.
And then there is our view, the vendor view coming from Red Hat and maybe other folks on the call, right?
Yeah.
So it's really open to everyone. If
Yeah.
there are folks on the call that like to talk a little bit about Silva in this forum, please ping us. We want to hear a little bit more about it. I think we need to build a little bit the synergy, and that's going to be the one of the main action item out of the one summit. I can feel it coming, so I want to be ready. Thank you, Bala, and thank you, Sana.
Yeah.
And then there is a last piece, and that's for Wim. Wim, at some point, you did brought up a Nokia Cloud Native and observability tool to become open source. And you said it was coming up soon. I don't know if that's the schema-driven configuration or if that was something else, but I'd
No,
love
that's that.
to have.
That's SDC. Yeah, yeah, it's SDC. Yeah.
Oh, it is SDC. Okay. So you presented it already.
Yeah,
Do
and
we
I have a
want
session in the
to?
one summit, by the way.
Awesome.
I think last time I understood from Wim is that they are trying to figure out how to open source it. Is that right, Wim?
It's
No, it
open
is
source.
open sourced.
It's
It is
open
open
source.
sourced. Yeah,
It's
it's open
open source
sourced.
in Nepio.
No,
No,
it's in
it's
all.
done outside of Nepio, but it's open source.
It's right there, Bala, right here. Okay.
I think probably I may have. Oh, okay. Did you make that comment then for test to infra then? I may have mistaken.
Ah,
Where,
yeah. So that's yeah, correct. So that's a different thing. But
Yeah.
this one is open source since a while. I think Swisscom presented it in KubeCon even, right?
Okay. Yeah.
what I wanted to know, Wim, is have you, and I don't know, right? So just bear with me a second, but have you put up some thoughts on where and how we could leverage this framework in Nepio?
You can just use it, right? I mean, so
Yeah, but
one
we would
is
need to create some KPD package. We would need to identify where it goes in the workload cluster. We would need to have some use cases. You see where I'm going? It's more about the story around it for Nepio.
I think so. What this tool does, it basically it's an element in the configuration swim lane 3, right? Which we have done a little bit, but very little. So this tool basically covers swim lane 3. Now the challenge that you have in Nepio, I think, is that there is nor OAI nor Free5GC supports Yang, right?
OAI will. So we'll get to that point. That's that
Yeah.
release 4 thing went. So I was gonna.
Yeah, actually, right. So that's like a year away or something like that. So in other words, the elements that you can use with this tool is very limited inside of Nepio. The only one that leverage this is as a Linux, right? But so I'm already doing that since release 1, by the way.
Yeah, well, that's where I'm thinking, and I'm
But
brainstorming here, Wim.
we could
But we could
replace
have
that with it.
no, we could have a formal transport kind of a user story in Nepio, where we leverage Nokia SR Linux, and we leverage SDC instead of the built-in capabilities in the network config reconciler to do the provisioning of that transport topology we could create, right? I know
That we already have.
container
I mean,
lab.
we have already that part, right?
Well, we have it, but it's very hidden, buried into some code. What I'm suggesting is that we leverage the SDC framework to make it more
Sure.
modular.
But that's just changing one piece, right? So it's just one.
Yeah, but then,
component.
but my suggestion is to build a formal use case, user story about it, like building whatever spine-leaf fabric with Nepio, and showing how to do it, for instance, with SR Linux. Like there is a bunch of container lab topology that exists already out there. Maybe we can pick one and Nepioized one. So we can show to the world that Nepio is not just 5G, it can be other kind of domain.
Yeah.
But
it could be a direction,
but we need,
yeah.
there
I mean,
needs
it
to be
depends
some value.
what people want to do with it. But this, so there is some effort already being kicked off outside of Nepio with respect to this. So I don't know whether you want to repeat what's going on over there. So
No, but I'm not. Can you talk a little bit about it?
Yeah, so there is an effort in AutoCon, for example, with respect to this, that is dealing with that. So, which is it's a networking community.
Network Con?
Yes, Autocom.
Autocom. Okay. Okay. Well, look. Anyway, I'll ping you, Wim. I want to see if there are things we can do.
We can discuss next week. Yeah, but, yeah.
Yeah, where I'm going
See,
with
but my
this
point is this, Alexis, right? So, my view is this: if we want to be successful with Nefio, we should try to finish something as a whole, rather than trying to go to the next thing, the next thing, and the next thing. That's why I'm hesitant to do it, because we first have to finish something that is deployable, right? And we can always go to the next thing and the next thing and never finish anything. And then the question is, what are we trying to accomplish? That's my only reservation that I have.
and I like this reservation, and I'm coming from more of a building a vision for Nefio, and not so.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, 2 release ahead, and not just this current release, right? So that's why I want to. But I'll ping you. My intention is not to derail R4 or R5. My goal is just to say, I've got a lot of people telling me I want Nefio to be in the transport, not just in not just in wireless, right? I know there are various parties at the table today that wants that, and so I want to start thinking about what it would mean, and if it means more synergy with other communities, that's fine. If it means adopting some existing solutions, that's fine as well. If it means nothing, then it means nothing. But that's a little bit the answer I'm looking for, and that's why I was drilling a little bit into that SDC piece.
Well, we can discuss next week. We can discuss next week.
Right. And
Count on me.
Alexi, I think I really like the idea of keeping the North Star discussion happening sometimes, because that actually keeps us on the right track. And all these basically wishes coming from various stakeholders in the community are actually very important to define and redefine that North Star, where our incremental releases are going. And that's exactly the role of SIGARC. So we have to be sometimes in pragmatic mode talking about the next release and user stories. And sometimes we have to wear this hat of defining the vision and North Star so that we are on the right track. So
All right.
We want to keep it going.
Yeah, no, thank you, Sana. I thank you for the support, and we need to build a view, right? So I want to put
That's
things
right.
in the view that are meaningful for us and not just out of thin air. So that's a little bit the goal. Yeah. All right.
Absolutely. To that
Thank you.
point, Alexi, that's why we are prioritizing a couple of infra stories for this release, right? We'll make if you're on Unreal clusters is probably one of the highest priority stories for our tree, because just that is just to support what we've just said, what we started. Let's complete it. I completely support your view as well. To build the vision, to build the roadmap, that's very much essential as well.
Right, right. Fully agreed, Bala. That is my number one priority as well. Of course, what we discovered.
Yeah.
Okay. Before wrapping it up, any comments, team?
Alexi, last comment. I thank Kandan for the session to firm the agenda, because we have a short time, so we have to have some ad hoc meetings to finalize things. I would like to know on the SIG arc who wants to be on that meeting, so that I can make sure that we have this quick ad hoc meeting settled tomorrow or Wednesday.
Can I suggest going through Slack?
I will put this note again on Slack. Who wants? So I have rough idea who were contributing and participating in the agenda discussion. I'll invite all of them, but in case I miss, I do want to know who else to include on that discussion.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'll
Thanks,
put a
Sana.
note on SIGARC. Yeah.
Thanks, Sana, for doing this. Yeah.
Thank you, Sana. And with that, folks, we are right on time. So happy Monday, and excited to see you all next week. Get ready. It's going to be intense.
Get ready, Bala.
Yeah. Thank you.
Bye,
Yeah.
all.
Absolutely. Yeah. Looking forward to
I'll ping you.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a good one. Bye-bye. Yeah.